Jake Paul, it's clear to me you are desperate for a reality check. You know what? If I made my money impressing 4-year-olds on YouTube and managed to somehow become a multimillionaire from it, I'd probably live in a dream world too. But let me explain something to you about combat sports. There are a whole bunch of men out here who will never be as famous as you, will never make the money you've made, who would kick the living fuck out of you.
Joe Rogan just exposed Andrew Tate, the top G, for rejecting the Jake Paul fight. You see, Andrew Tate didn't just challenge someone, he made a whole theatrical offer. The guy practically set the stage on fire. He called out Jake Paul and threw in what he called an irresistible deal, a mega money fight that would put every YouTube boxing match to shame. But wait, where is Andrew Tate now? Backtracking? Sidestepping? Or maybe just not ready for Jake Paul after all?
The biggest clown on the fucking internet. If you want to fight and you want to send a contract, send one to me. I will take a few weeks break from living my retired life to kick the living fuck out of a fucking goofy, fucking entitled dickhead like you. You know my name, Andrew Tate.
Now let's not forget why this fight seemed so juicy. He offered a fight of $3 million. So why would Jake Paul be the one to warn him off? Could it be because Tate himself has second thoughts after realizing Jake might actually not be the easy target he assumed?
If my brother doesn't fuck you up, I will. And it has to go down. But I don't think he gets in the ring with one of us.
But here's the kicker. Just when you thought this was all about Jake Paul versus Andrew Tate, Joe Rogan dropped a bombshell of his own. He didn't just expose why Tate might have backtracked. Oh no, he also revealed something about Jake Paul that's going to make your jaw drop.
Me versus Andrew Tate.
Wow.
But here we are. So we could talk about that side note announcement. And please go watch the episode.
Hold on a second. What you mean you versus Andrew Tate? Because
no, I'm not saying a fight. I'm saying like our back and forth. He talks shit about me and like says he wants to beat my ass or can beat my ass and all this stuff.
I think there's a better fight to make.
Now, before stepping into that specific thing, let me tell you about Andrew Tate's offer and why it was such a big deal. Tate isn't your average influencer. With a net worth of over $710 million, the man doesn't need to step into a ring for a paycheck. He's loud, confident, and honestly, he knows how to sell a fight better than most professional promoters. Add to that his reputation as a kickboxing champion, and you'd think Jake Paul would be shaking in his boxing boots.
This is the hardest sport in the world, and people dedicate their lives to this, and most of them never get a payday. It never pays off for the majority of fighters, who would fuck you up. I'm one of the lucky ones. I made a little bit of money. I don't have 50 million to bet with you, but I do have 3 million to bet with you. So this is your offer. $3 million.
The offer wasn't just about the money. It was about making a statement. Andrew positioned himself as a worthy adversary, a man with real fighting experience, not just a flashy social media profile. He promised a match that would settle their rivalry once and for all, delivering the kind of spectacle that fans dream of. But the deal fell through, and not because of logistical issues or timing. It's the reasons behind Tate stepping back that have everyone talking, and not in a good way.
You put 3, I put 3, winner takes all. I'm 5 years out the ring. I'm a kickboxer. You're 2-0 in boxing. I'm 0-0 in boxing. I've never even fought boxing. I'm a retired old man. 5 years I've been sitting around smoking cigars and fucking bitches, which are better looking than the fucking girl you're advertising anyway.
Andrew Tate's offer should have been Jake Paul's ultimate test. Imagine this. Jake, the self-proclaimed disruptor of the boxing world, facing off against a decorated fighter with an unbeaten persona. It was the perfect narrative. Jake could prove his worth, and Tate could silence the critics. But something went wrong. And here's where things get murky.
I will fight you any day of the fucking week.
Rumor has it that Jake played his cards carefully, subtly warning Tate about what was at stake. Jake isn't just a fighter. He's a strategist who knows how to exploit his opponent's vulnerabilities. Maybe Tate realized that stepping into the ring wasn't just about punches and knockouts. It was about protecting his brand, his image, his legacy. And for a man like Tate, losing to Jake Paul could have been catastrophic.
Why don't you lose to an old man who's retired? I live in the real fucking world, Jake. There's a whole bunch of fighters out here who live in the real fucking world. Men who are dangerous and dedicated their lives to this sport and don't have a fucking fraction of the money you have because you managed to become a fucking clown.
And then there's KSI, the wild card in this bizarre love triangle of boxing egos. Remember when Mike Tyson stepped in to avenge Muhammad Ali against Larry Holmes? That fight was a moment of redemption, a poetic comeback that boxing fans still talk about to this day. Now, fast forward to 2024, and Andrew Tate was poised to be the Mike Tyson of our time, stepping into the ring to knock Jake Paul back to his YouTube vlogs.
I think you're focused on boxing boxers, people that are in the space that you reside.
Jake, I know he's been talking shit about you, bro.
Yeah.
But with your blessing, can I beat the shit out of Andrew fucking Tate?
100%.
But what happened instead? Nothing. No fight, no epic revenge, no poetic justice. And here's where things get murky. Could it be that KSI, who's made a career out of strategically picking fights he can win, whispered a word of caution into Tate's ear? Or was it Jake playing his psychological games who got under Tate's skin? Either way, the fight didn't happen, and the fans were left scratching their heads.
I don't think he would fight us.
Come on, he's the top G.
Nah.
Come on, he's the top G.
Nah, I don't think he would fight us.
Come on.
And he called me out like 2 years ago. And I remember seeing it. I was just like, swipe up, like, okay, who the fuck is this guy? Like, don't care. That was when everyone was calling me out. And then some interviewer recently asked, like, do you know who, or would you fight Andrew Tate? And that's when I seen this guy like starting to fucking pop up all over the internet. I was like, oh, that's.
Now, let's not give Tate a free pass here. For a man who prides himself on being fearless, his decision to back away from Jake Paul has raised more than a few eyebrows. Was it fear? Was it strategy? Or was it something else entirely? Let's not forget that Tate's confidence is his brand, his bread and butter. Losing to Jake Paul, of all people, wouldn't just be a defeat. It would be a public relations disaster.
I am so excited about this fight.
Andrew Tate has been training with the mature old lads.
But let's be fair, Andrew Tate is no stranger to challenges. The man built an empire from scratch, made millions, and dominated the kickboxing world. On paper, he had every reason to step into the ring. And yet, he didn't. Maybe he saw something in Jake that the rest of us missed. Maybe he realized that Jake isn't just a YouTuber with a decent right hook. He's a master of turning public perception to his advantage.
Your decision making when most boxers, we don't follow their career at this point.
Yeah, I'm blessed to be in the position I am, to be highly criticized. That just means I'm doing something right. And no one has had a boxing career like mine. It'll be studied and judged, but I've risen to the top in 4 years because I've taken risks. I was the underdog all the way up until Nate Robinson, and that's something that people don't remember, don't give any credit to.
Speaking of Jake Paul, let's talk about the man who somehow managed to stay at the center of every boxing controversy in recent memory. Love him or hate him, Jake knows how to sell a fight. He's not just a boxer, he's a brand, a walking, talking spectacle. And he knows exactly how to get under his opponent's skin. Take this latest drama with Andrew Tate, for example. Jake didn't just sit back and let Tate control the narrative. Oh no. He played his cards carefully, dropping hints, making subtle digs, and keeping the fans guessing. And let's not forget Jake's ability to cherry-pick opponents, a skill that's earned him as much criticism as it has success.
He does tend to keep those guards down, but he's comfy at that point.
But here's where things get interesting. Joe Rogan, yes, the Joe Rogan, decided to weigh in on the drama. And what he revealed might just be the biggest twist in this already convoluted saga. Joe Rogan is no stranger to controversy, and when he talks, people listen. On a recent episode of his podcast, Joe didn't hold back. He exposed the real reason why Andrew Tate might have backed away from the fight, and it's not what you'd expect. According to Rogan, Tate wasn't scared of Jake's punches. He was scared of Jake's influence. Think about it. Jake Paul isn't just a fighter. He's a disruptor. He's changed the boxing game, for better or worse, and he's shown that he's not afraid to play dirty. And for someone like Andrew Tate, whose entire brand is built on being untouchable, that kind of unpredictability is dangerous.
Andrew keeping his balance very well, returning with the knee.
But Joe didn't stop there. He also revealed a side of Jake Paul that most people don't see. Behind the bravado and the trash talk, Jake is a calculated, strategic thinker. He knows how to pick his battles and he knows how to win, both in the ring and out of it. And that, according to Rogan, is what makes him so dangerous. And where does KSI fit into all of this? Well, Let's just say that KSI's role in this saga is as complicated as his boxing career. On the one hand, he's been a vocal critic of both Jake and Tate. On the other hand, he's been accused of playing it safe, picking opponents he knows he can beat.
Or even Andrew Tate's talking to young boys.
You see this on Kevin Samuels' show. You see this on sometime, what's the other guy? Andrew Tate. It's just confrontation. Confrontation sells. And we're not going to stop this confrontation. This is going to become an era so we can continue to make money off of people's pain.
But here's the thing. KSI isn't just a fighter. He's a businessman. He knows that his reputation is everything, and he's not going to risk it for a fight that he might lose. So, while he might be quick to criticize Jake and Tate, he's also careful not to get too involved. At the end of the day, this drama isn't just about boxing. It's about egos, brands, and the ever-blurring line between sports and entertainment. Andrew Tate, Jake Paul, and KSI are all playing the same game, and they're all playing to win. But here's the real question. Who's the biggest winner in all of this? Is it Jake, who's managed to stay at the center of the conversation? Is it Tate, who's managed to keep his reputation intact despite backing away from the fight? Or is it Joe Rogan, who's managed to expose the truth behind the drama? The answer, as always, is up to the fans. This saga has been a roller coaster of hype, drama, and disappointment. From Andrew Tate's bold challenge to Jake Paul's psychological games to Joe Rogan's bombshell revelations, it's clear that this story is far from over. And while we might never see Tate and Jake face off in the ring, one thing's for sure, the world of influencer boxing is more entertaining and more unpredictable than ever before. So, who do you think came out on top? Let us know in the comments below.